What an incredible finish to this basketball game for the Toronto Raptors, as they set a franchise record for the biggest comeback in franchise history, trailing by 30 with about 2.5 to play in the third quarter, and the Raptors come back to win this one 110-107. Absolutely incredible. I mean, where do we even get in? First off, I want to tell you guys that obviously I'm not in the hotel and I'm not at home at my grandma's house right now, and I was going to do this video later for you guys, but the way this thing ended, you kind of got to do it right away. You got to talk about it, because holy smokes, what a game there this afternoon for the Toronto Raptors and the Dallas Mavericks. Now, in the first quarter, the Toronto Raptors, it was kind of a back and forth game. Neither team was shooting the ball very well. Shots were, it was 20-17 after one quarter of play. Not a very big score. You're up by 3. It's a good start, but again, you got to get that offense rolling. The problem is, though, over the next 2 quarters, the second and the third quarter, the Raptors' offense did not get going, and the Dallas Mavericks, their offense got on a real good roll as they scored 34 in the second quarter. Raptors only scored 22. You guys can do the math. Minus 12 in that quarter, minus 9 overall at halftime. Still lots of basketball to play, though. 9-point leads evaporate pretty darn quick. But then in the third quarter, the same thing happens. Raptors only score 21. Things aren't looking pretty. They score 35, and just like that, they got a plus 20-point lead. I think it was 23, if I'm not mistaken, at the end of 3 quarters of play. And at one point in that third quarter, though, it was a 30-point deficit for the Toronto Raptors. Like I said, with about 2.5 to play, they get to the line, they kind of scrap a little bit, but again, you're still down by plus 20 heading into the fourth quarter against a very good Dallas Mavericks team. It doesn't look too pretty. You need a miracle, basically, to have this game change around. That miracle happened. The Raptors offense goes from scoring 43 points in the second and third quarter to dropping 47 in the fourth and only allowing 21, and the Raptors squeak out the 110-107 win at home. No Siakam, no Lowry, no Marcus Gasol, no problem. Yes, we don't have Luka Doncic. We don't have 3 starters. Don't give me that. Doncic is a great player. He's one of my favorite players to watch right now in the NBA, but it's one guy. And as you will learn very quickly, Maverick fans, you guys know from previous years, of course, one guy, especially in this day and age, is not going to win you a championship. You need more guys. Porzingis has been great. He was great again this afternoon for the Mavericks, but the Raptors were able to come back. And the big fourth quarter, Kyle Lowry. Is anybody going to continue to diss Kyle Lowry and say how he's done? He's not worth the money. He's useless. Trade him. All this absolute garbage. Because Kyle Lowry was the only one of the only reasons why this Raptor team won this ball game today. He was electric. He was incredible. How many big threes did he make in that fourth quarter? I counted at least 4 of them. And how many beautiful dimes did he drop, including the last one to Chris Boucher, who threw it down with authority right at 25 seconds left. You don't see dunks like that happen usually, and it happened. What a job by the Raptors and Chris Boucher. Now, the Raptors do what they did best on defense. Hold the Mavericks only 38% from the field. Raptors only shoot 39% from the field, however, but the 3-point shooting is once again, no Marcus Gasol, guys. The 3-point shooting's dropped. Only 29% for the Toronto Raptors. Not a very pretty number. They only shot 32, however, so not such a big difference. Both teams shot very well from the free throw line. Raptors are shading under 84%. They were at 81.5%, and again, all these numbers that I'm reading here for you guys are all very similar, because it was so lopsided at one point, and the Raptors just came back and just kind of evened them all out. The rebounding category, only -2. They won 53-51 on the glass. That's not a terrible number. Assists, that's the only number I look at. Only 21 assists for the Raptors. Again, they weren't moving the ball. They also weren't making shots, period. So it wasn't very pretty, but they found a way to get it done. I'm continuously going to be impressed with this team every time they go out there. 5 blocks to their 4. The Raptors, look, I got to give Nick Nurse and the coaching staff credit, because they knew being down by 23 or whatever it was going into the fourth quarter, you needed stops early. So what do? Right on the inbound play to start off the quarter, they put pressure. Full court press right down there on the inbounder. And, it maybe didn't work on the first play, but I think 2 or 3 times in that fourth quarter, the Raptors take that ball, they steal it, and I remember one specifically, Terrence Davis steals it and just to kind of spin around, catch and shoot, leaning forward, which usually those don't go in, but Terrence Davis knocks it down. And it was an incredible call by Nick Nurse and the coaching staff because, hey, you needed to do it. And they did it. And I'm utterly impressed with this team. Only 12 turnovers for the Toronto Raptors, despite having played a horrendous first 3 quarters. Only 12 turnovers. They had 17 fast break points. Raptors usually win that category. They did yet again. 17-10 on the fast break. Points in the paint. Once again, the Raptors usually dominate that kind of thing. 50-30 were in favor of the Raptors today, as usual. Points out of turnovers. Look, they had 17 turnovers. We had 12. We won that category, as you would expect, 18-12 in that category, and what an incredible job by the Toronto Raptors today. I mean, I'm obviously, you guys can kind of clue in what I'm doing here. I don't have Wi-Fi at my grandma's house, so I'm improvising for you. I have her computer up here, and I'm looking at the stats where I got you guys right here, so it's trying to figure things out, but it's a lot of fun. I'm excited for you guys, because this is incredible. I'm just bringing up the Raptors team stats here, because this team dominated. And let's get through it, because we're not talking about one guy that did the damage. No, because that didn't happen. Look, Patrick McCaw only had 8 points and 2 rebounds. Problem was he was a minus 25. Not good. OG Anunoby, played 29 minutes. Why did he not play as much? Because he wasn't playing very good. Only 6 points for OG and a minus 27. Not very pretty. Serge Ibaka only played 23 minutes. Why? Minus 21 on the floor, 6 points, 5 boards. Only shot 27% from the field. OG only shot 37% from the field. And, Patrick McCaw just wasn't doing a whole lot out there. So, they didn't play. Now, Kyle Lowry. This guy is incredible. He dropped 32 points, 8 rebounds, and 10 assists. He had a double-double. He was 2 boards away from the triple-double. And wouldn't that have been something, eh? Not just because it would have been a triple-double. In the way it happened would have been remarkable to see from the Raptors. Now, I'm trying to see here. Lowry made 12 threes, people. Or no, sorry, I'm not usually reading this kind of thing. He was 12 of 23 shooting from the field, 52%, 5 of 13 from 3, shot 38% from 3. Great job by Kyle Lowry in this game, guys. I was utterly impressed with Kyle. And he ended up being a +5 while he was on the floor in a game where we were trailing for most of this ball game. So a great job from him. But I'm not gonna leave it right up to Kyle Lowry. Fred VanVleet struggled shooting the ball, 10 points on 15% shooting, 2 of 13. Not very pretty for Fred VanVleet, and minus 20 while he was on the floor. But, and I don't think you guys can answer this question. It completely slips my mind. Did Fred VanVleet play the final 5 or 6 minutes of this basketball game? I think he might have, but again, I'm not too sure. But you know who did finish this game off? The guys who deserved it. Hollis-Jefferson, Chris Boucher, and I'm not sure, Terrence Davis might have actually finished this ball game unless Fred VanVleet came in for him or whatnot. But Rondé and Chris Boucher, I know for sure, finished this game off, and damn, it was well deserved. Because when you have Fred VanVleet a minus 20, Serge Ibaka minus 21, OG minus 27, Patrick McCaw minus 25. You're basically your starting unit other than Lowry in the deep minuses. I mean, it was not very pretty. Then you have guys like Rondé Hollis-Jefferson, who comes off the bench, gives you 18 points, 9 rebounds, a couple assists on 6 of 13, shooting 46%. And what a job did, Rondé Hollis, my plus 19 on the floor was big Rondé Hollis-Jefferson. Chris Boucher, 21.7 rebounds on 6 of 12, shooting 50%, of course. What a job by Chris Boucher. And plus 24 while he was on the floor. Great job by Chris Boucher. And my boy TD2, Terrence Davis, 9 points, 5 boards, couple assists in this one. Shot 2 of 4, 50% from the field, 2 of 3 from 3 for Terrence Davis. And a plus 31 for Terrence Davis. And I got to give the credit where credit is due. Malcolm Miller, look, he's been a no-show all year long, as you really expect. However, in just a shade under 17 minutes for Malcolm Miller, he doesn't even get a point. He misses all 4 shots he took, if I'm not mistaken. He misses all 4 shots he takes in this ball game. But he had 6 rebounds and a couple assists. But ladies and gentlemen, he was a plus 29 while he was on the floor in 16 minutes. That's pretty damn good if you ask me. The bench came through. And Kyle Lowry in his post-game interview said it best. Hell of a win. And they asked him, Kyle, when did you expect, when did you, feel like this was going to happen? When did you guys think you were going to win this game? He's like, when Porzingis missed the last shot right at the end of the game. And I don't blame him. Because who in their right mind thought very late in the third quarter that you would end up coming back from a 30-point deficit and winning? Not many people would have put money on that. Because you're crazy. Especially without Siakam, especially without Powell and Marc Gasol. They find a way to beat a really good Dallas Mavericks team and hold them to only 21 points in that fourth quarter. The defense tightened up ridiculously. They were missing some wide open shots as well, but the defense was incredibly tight. They were doing a great job. And the big one, they were knocking down shots. I mean, you look at the first three quarters, the highest scoring quarter in the first three was 22 in the second quarter. The Raptors didn't even have, I think they had 50-something at the end, maybe 63 at the end of three quarters of play. They ended with 110, a very respectable number. This team balled out in the fourth quarter. And that is why this team, they're finding new loves. I'm finding new loves for these guys every single game. And what I saw today is a team that did not quit. Had every opportunity to cave in, call it a night, and pack it up and go home. Instead, they chose, now we're going to give it one last big push. And damn, they give it a big push. And they beat the Dallas Mavericks. Like I said, 110-107. The Raptors' record jumps to 21-8, if I'm not mistaken. Win number 5 in a row for the Toronto Raptors. Remarkable, people. I am utterly impressed with this team. They show me every single night that they are, battling adversity, whether it be the media, whether it being the injuries that they're occurring at what times, because right now it's probably one of the worst times to have these injuries happen. However, seeing what this team and what Kyle Lowry and the bench did for this team today, it shows you everything you need to know about the Toronto Raptors as a whole. Not about, your starting lineup, but we're talking, 1 through 12. We're talking 1 through 13. We're talking about the big guys, the entire roster here. Because they ball, they play hard, and they make comebacks. Because that is the largest comeback in franchise history there tonight by 30 points. The next one was 25. That hadn't happened for quite some time. I think it was against Detroit, if I'm not mistaken, way back in the day. Or when Jared Bayless was on the team. We're talking way back now. But what a game for the Toronto Raptors, guys. I think we can all agree this one had emotions all over the place. And it leads you to a victory on home court. It was an emotional basketball game on and off the court. Everyone's jacked up watching this game. I mean, well, let's just say the fourth quarter, because everyone's probably had their TV off at one point. But what a comeback from this team. Nick Nurse deserves a lot of credit. There's been a lot of hitting on, Nick Nurse this season because of his decisions at points. But I think we can all agree that his decisions today to leave Rondé, to leave Boucher, and let Lowry and let the defense have that full court press right at the start of the fourth quarter, as well as letting Kyle Lowry just go crazy, because that's what he was feeling today. Letting them do that, letting all that happen, that right there is that is Coach Nick Nurse saying, hey, boys, we need something. Just give it to us. And that's exactly what this team did. They responded with, all right, Coach, we're going to go out there and give it everything we have. And they did today. Incredible, and I love this team. 21-8 on the year, guys. They've won both games now without those three players. Every single game matters when it comes to getting W's without those guys. It's huge, all right? The next contest for the Raptors is tomorrow night, Monday. So it's a Monday night tip-off. They're in Indiana. So again, it doesn't get any easier. Dallas is a very good ball team. Like I said, they beat Milwaukee without Doncic in Milwaukee. Ended that win streak they had. They beat Philly in Philly, one of the most dominant home court teams in the NBA. And then they come to Toronto. Looks like they're going to do the same to us, but we pull out the comeback and find a way to win. Huge ball game for the Raptors. Huge ball game for the entire squad. Now the focus turns to Indiana in Indy, and that team is a very good team at home. Last time I checked their record, they were 12-3 at home. That could have changed, but again, that's what I saw. So they're a very good basketball team. I don't know if they played tonight or not. I don't have that in front of me. That's what I would have if I had Wi-Fi and everything, but I don't have that. But guys, incredible basketball game, an incredible comeback. And let's enjoy this thing, because it was fun to watch. All right, so you know what, guys? That is going to do it for this one. If you guys enjoyed the video and you guys enjoyed this game today, smack the like button. Do appreciate that. Hit the subscribe button if you guys have not already. Comment down below your thoughts on the game, your thoughts on the video. Who is your MVP in this game? I mean, you have probably a few choices to pick from. You can pick Kyle Lowry and you have him get a double-double and knock down 32 points and help your team win a game like that. It's huge. Could you pick Rondé Hollis-Jefferson? Could you pick the entire bench who came on and were basically plus 20s the entire night? You could give it to them. You could give it to Rondé. You could give it to Terrence Davis. Even though points-wise he wasn't a whole lot, but he was a plus 31 while he was out there. You could give it to Boucher, who had 21 off the bench, who was remarkable. Guys, let me know in the comments below who your MVP is from this game there this afternoon for the Toronto Raptors. All right, and guys, Twitter is down below for myself. Follow up, send me a DM, do all that great stuff. Also, the Patreon account is down below. If you want to, sign up to that, it's only $1 a month, guys. I'm not trying to shaft you or anything. If you guys just want to donate $1 a month to help the TO Sports Talk happen, to help to help that happen, because I'm planning to do some big things for you guys. I want to do big things for you guys, but it's up to you if you guys want that. And if you're interested in signing up, of course, I'm not going to force you to do anything you don't want to do. The link is going to be in the description below. All right, and I will talk to you guys Leafs edition. Oh goodness, when is their next game? They play, I want to say tomorrow. I think it's tomorrow against Carolina. The Hurricanes come to town. Very good Carolina Hurricanes team at Scotiabank Arena. I'm pretty sure it's a 7 o'clock puck drop there. It's going to be Mrazek and Frederik Andersen are going to be almost the guaranteed goaltenders in that game tomorrow night at Scotiabank Arena. If I'm not mistaken, it's Monday. I could be wrong. It's Tuesday, but you guys will let me know in the comments below, all right? And as for the Raptors, as we talked about, their next contest is tomorrow night against Indiana in Indianapolis as they take on the Pacers. Our Raptors on the second night of a back-to-back. It's going to be a grind, especially with this one being the first night of the back-to-back. But, hey, I'm done doubting this team. Who knows what we're going to see tomorrow in Indiana. All I know is that I'm not too sure exactly what time the game is. I'm going to guess 7:30. It could be 8 o'clock. I'm pretty sure it's 7:30 or 7 o'clock in that range somewhere. All right, so thank you guys so much for listening and watching. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Talk to you guys then.